From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Congratulatory messages from world leaders are pouring into Mar-a-Lago, Florida this morning, where Donald Trump is celebrating his likely return to the White House.
With his family beside him on stage, former President Donald Trump repeated the campaign themes that brought him here.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again.
Trump claimed victories in the battleground states of Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina to bring him close to the electoral votes he needs to return to the White House. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Trump has since won Wisconsin, which appears to give him the votes now he needed to secure the presidency. Republicans also reclaimed control of the U.S. Senate with seat pickups in West Virginia and Ohio. Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to address the nation sometime today on the state of the race and her performance. Reporter Mary Bruce has more on what that speech might offer.
I can only imagine what is going through her head as she has to switch gears and go from writing what I imagine she had hoped was a victory speech to now coming out and somehow, thanking her supporters, trying to offer perhaps some kind of explanation as to how we got here.
According to AP Votecast, an extensive survey of voters found that the fate of democracy appeared to be a primary driver for Harris supporters, and by contrast, Trump supporters were largely focused on immigration and inflation. There was plenty of anxiety at a U.S. election watch party in Calgary last night. Dominic Rotante was born in Canada but raised in Colorado. He's voted Democrat the past two elections, and he was concerned about a Donald Trump win.
Yes, the sun's going to come up. It doesn't go my way. I do fear for the state of the American democracy. I'm not going to lie. I think that what Trump's proposed with Project 2025 terrifies me.
Calgarian David Burns was there to watch the moment in history, too. He predicted chaos, no matter which leader came out on top. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says home sales surged in October as buyers continued moving off the sidelines amid lower interest rates.
The board says sales surged 44% last month compared with the same month last year. The average selling price was up 1% at $1.13 million. Meanwhile, new listings were up 4.3%. Board President Jennifer Pierce says while it's still early in the Bank of Canada's interest rate cutting cycle, homebuyers appear motivated by lower borrowing costs and relatively flat home prices. Michelle Zedekian, The Canadian Press, Toronto.
And Nunavut Premier PJ Akiagok is expected to face a confidence vote today in the territorial legislature. In a surprise move on Monday, Ivy Lick MLA Solomon Maliki gave notice that he'd present a motion calling for Akiagok to be stripped of his premiership and removed from cabinet. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, 6 Canadian teams hit the ice in NHL games Tuesday night. 4 of them were successful. Captain Quinn Hughes had 3 assists, including the 300th of his NHL career as Vancouver beat the Ducks in Anaheim 5-1. Nito Niederreiter scored twice as the Winnipeg Jets blanked Utah 3-0 to improve to a league-best 12-1-0. 29 saves for Anthony Stolarz helped the Toronto Maple Leafs blank the visiting Boston Bruins 4-0. The Calgary Flames won a 3-2 victory in overtime over the struggling Montreal Canadiens, and Buffalo beat Ottawa 5-1. And Philadelphia 76ers center Joel Embiid has been suspended by the NBA for 3 games without pay for shoving a member of the media. Embiid's suspension will begin with the next regular season game for which he's eligible and able to play. He has yet to play this season with what the 76ers call left knee management. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.